Nice hat.
Thanks. What's up? What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a massive unboxing for you guys today. It is the annual Get All the Okuma Fish Lab and Soft Steel Stuff order. So before we get into this, make sure that you smash that like, ring that notification bell, maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, / see us fish all the stuff that's behind us. It's going to be coming up in, the season.
Future videos.
When it's warm and the water's open.
It's actually not that far away. Dude, it's like February.
It's like we skipped ice fishing, so it feels weird, but it's going to be happening soon and we'll go fish all this stuff and we'll test out the fluoro line and all of that, and we'll beat the heck out of it for the entire year. At the end of the year, we'll do what we did last year, which is a year in review. So what do we really feel about it?
I love the recap.
Yeah, and we don't hold back frustrations, y'all.
No, I'll let you know.
Okay, so here's the deal. You guys know soft steel line makes line, and we get it. Like, line's boring.
It's not
whatever.
exciting.
But we ordered the highest end line that Soft Steel has for this year. So we're using all their Japanese line. And I'm super stoked about it. Last year we did this one. This was the Instinct. It's the cheaper line. It's like $8
But we learned a ton, and I used this. This is all I used, I think, for fluoro.
Guess how many problems we had?
None. Zero. Highly recommend. But this year we went with the Tatakai fluoro. Stop. This year we went with the Tatakai fluorocarbon. So the idea, again, aggressively average anglers. What are we trying to mess around with? What are we trying to learn? We're trying to figure out what the difference is between like a more expensive, the Tatakai, the higher end fluoro, as compared to what we were using last year in the Instinct.
Okay, first of all, few convenience factors. So it has a line holder. Isn't that fancy?
That is nice.
Not every spool has that. The Instinct did not have this.
So here is the 6, 20, and 12. And then here's 4, 8, 10, and 15.
And here is 4, 12, 15, and more 4, 12, and 15.
So the deal is most of what I use for fluoro is leader lines, so that's why you're seeing so much at like the lower end. And then some of the higher spools are what I would normally use for spooling an entire setup for things like crankbaits. Yep. And
jerk
really,
baits, whatever.
Crankbaits and jerkbaits is all I really use a full spool for.
Stuff that we want to run at the right depth or deeper.
Yeah. And so, that's why you have a couple of 600s and then a lot of the 300s. That's what I use the most of. So
shout out to Soft Steel. We've had a lot of luck with them, and if you guys are curious, check them out. We use their Eminent braid all the time.
Yeah. Should we do the Tower of Frogs?
All right, you guys, let's get to the baits. We got rods, reels, and baits, and a couple of storage options here. So we're gonna go with the baits next. Here is our Tower of Frogs.
These are, I use these all the time. This is like sort of my standard frog.
Yep. These are also called the Rattle Toad.
Yeah. Why is it called the Rattle Toad?
Because it do be rattling.
Yeah, it does.
So it comes with a nice long skirt, which you can trim, obviously, and we're going to just customize it. But I just like these because it's a very plush frog. Very nice.
It's a 2 1/4.
Comes with a little protector, I guess.
2 1/4 inch. It comes. You have the popper? No, you have the walker.
You have the popper. Yeah. So this is the walking frog, and 2 1/4 inch is like just the right size. Like just really good size for us to use.
I usually like to have a black frog, a white frog, and a brown frog. That's sort of like my go-tos.
That's all we ordered.
Yep. And so we have this is my other favorite. So this is like a brown on top, white on bottom. So really the bottom's the only thing that really matters. So you get the black is where I always start.
All black.
All black
and yellow.
And then you get the really, which is a white, but a brown and white are really natural. But this one is a popper. So we got a little bit of both. So this is another 2 1/4. This is the one I use the most. 1/2 ounce, and obviously it floats because it's a frog. But seriously, solid hooks, never have a problem with them. They are pretty durable, and the popper really pops. That's an aggressive pop. And this is the perfect size for Michigan, for a pond hopper.
Yeah, we like this a lot.
And for sure for a bank angler, just in my opinion.
They do sell them in bigger sizes. There's like your natural green bullfrog color.
And both the popper and the walker.
Next bait on the list. Rats.
So last year,
check these out.
These aren't necessarily new. So these are BBZ, which if you don't know stands for Big Bass Zone. So that's Bill C. Mantell. He invented the original Spro rat, and he's a legend in the industry. So he has come up with...
So he knows stuff.
Yeah, so he came up with this rat. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, I think it's fair to say it's insane.
Awesome.
Well, last year we got the giant one. Okay, so
this is the much more appropriate size for where we're at. I love this. I love that they whopper plopped these feet. It's
both
like
of them.
Little skeleton foot in there. So nuts. So yeah, these are prop feet on the back. Replaceable tail. Actually comes with 2 replacements right out the box. Just a little toothpick you stab in there and break it off.
To be compared with,
Bam.
that's the big boy.
Papa rat, baby rat.
Yep. So this is the one we got last year in gray. Loving this purple, but really, again, it's the white on bottom that we really care about.
But that perp, though, and the little
sick.
chartreuse chaser tail.
Yeah, and the action is insane.
phenomenal.
They do have super nice hooks.
That's
One thing, they have like the nicest hooks. So that is the bio rat. Kind of insane.
Next up's a wake bait. We're staying kind of up on the top of the water zone. Big bass zone.
I like it. The water zone.
Next up's a wake bait. So we're staying on top water here, and these are pretty rad. So this is the Bio Shad wake. This is my favorite color. I've fished all the colors. Here's another one in the giant size.
Holy smokes.
In comparison, this is itty bitty.
It is a huge difference. And honestly, the biggest difference is the weight. It's half the weight. Half. You can go from fishing a heavy stick or even a medium heavy if it's like a heavy action maybe. Yeah, it's really a heavy, but like this
stick.
You need a swim bait rod. This guy, you can use your standard setup.
Yeah, so these are really nice. They got a good amount of weight to them, good sound to them. They move really naturally in the water.
Deal. That's the biggest thing for me is that motion has them
super
really
natural.
solid and they're really durable.
Yeah, they are.
Kind of beat the crap out of mine.
All right, keeping that game going, we got the BBZ here, Bio Shad Crankbait. These were new for last year. We got just a couple of these to kind of test out. One in the smaller size, one in the bigger size.
Here's a smaller one, so I'm very excited to mess around with it. The action on these is insane. And this lip, obviously, I think is counterbalancing the lack of weight. So the bigger one is obviously a little bit heavier, stays down. This one with a smaller size, that lip is gonna help you stay beneath the water. But very cool looking bait, very solid hook size, and really hard tail.
Yeah.
This thing is a beast. I'm excited. This one feels like it can catch any fish in the lake. Like I have no concerns about being, like my level of confidence being new to like, faster baits like this, no problem fishing this one. Tons of confidence.
So the lip looks like a wake bait. It's a crankbait. It does dive. We did get a chance to fish that one. Well, I did a bunch. And Paul got to fish this one, which is the upsized version. It's an actual swim bait. No lip on this one. Bit more weight. So these come in at 2 ounces, 6 inches. It's a slow sink.
Not super heavy.
Not super heavy. And we went for the, it's called the Bio Shad Gizzard, if you're looking for it on Fish Lab. And this color is, this one is Chartreuse Sexy. Chartreuse Sexy. So we got 3 joints, 4 segments here. And again, you got that like,
it's good.
Pretty hard tail.
Yes.
A little bit of movement to it. Obviously, you don't want to store it funky. We've been talking about this, so we'll do a storage video
Maybe there's a video coming on that pretty soon.
But look at how natural that is.
It's dumb.
It looks really good.
It's so dumb. I love it. That color turned out way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, let the light focus in on it. There you go. Chartreuse tail, heavy chartreuse upper, white into even a blue up top. I mean, Bill Siementel knows what he's doing. Yeah, I have faith in Bill's choices, because I'm smart.
I have the black and gold one, and it bangs. It's a really cool looking bait. Solid.
Awesome bait. Very excited about that. So we got more swim baits here. These are the very natural, gilly looking, the panfish ones. They come in a bunch of different colors. They've got crappie up to bluegill of all sorts of shapes and sizes. We got like kind of a red ear design on this one. So 2 different sizes again. As you can tell, we're kind of switching up, trying the different sizes.
And one with a lip and one without a lip. And the idea here, I mean, honestly, so I have a couple of these I stole from Jeff. I did not get to fish these at all last year, and I really regret it. This is something that I wish I had put a lot more time into.
We're going to give it some goes this year.
I'm giving it way more time this year.
So check this out. This is the lipped version.
Super realistic.
I probably should have looked at how big that is. You want to grab that other box for me, please? 5-inch, 1 5/8 ounce floating. So you got that lip to help out with it. Did I just cash that box? Nice. Take my trash home, please. You got that same kind of tail as we had on the gizzard shad and stuff. So it's like semi-hard, a little bit of movement to it. Makes it more natural in the water. Very natural swim to these babies. Come with nice, sturdy, sharp hooks. And there's your lip right up front. So that's the red ear, man. That thing looks awesome.
All right, here is the downsized version. No lip, 4-inch, 1 ounce. The paint job is just immaculate. I'm a big fan. The paint jobs the schemes are wonderful. Also just noticed, these are all clear.
Yep.
Translucent. Looking good. Crispy. I like it.
Next up, we got the Hydroglide. So we've opened these before. We've talked about these a whole bunch. I'm probably going to give these to producer Chaz. If you guys know him, it's because you've been on our live. And if you don't, You should come over.
Does he-
Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, when we go live for Aggressively Average Anglers, the live podcast. You can hang out with us and maybe potentially get things that you don't pay for via Schmidt.
And we'll just like send them to you, and you don't have to like you don't have to pay a dime.
I don't know what they call it, but we're not using the word. There's the Hydroglide. So this is 8 inches, I think it is. Gosh dang, 8 inches, 3.5 ounces. It's a big one. It's gigantic. I compare it most closely to like the S-Waver. So if you pick these up off of Fish Lab or the Okuma site, maybe via our link in the description below if you want to support the show, then they're $24.99. Look at the eyeshadow on these. I love this. My Chemical Romance. I hate my
Very
dad.
emotional bait. we did get a couple of our favorite colors. So the bone is our favorite. My second favorite is this rainbow trout. Oh my Lord.
Glorious.
Are you joking me right now? We love it.
Very affordable for a big glide bait. So if you're looking to get into big glide baits and you don't want to spend all of your money on it, you can start here. Great option.
All right.
This one.
While we're talking about big old baits, this one is new to the Aggressively Average Angler crew here.
I'm gonna be
Another
fishing it.
8-inch, 3.5 ounce
Get it out of there.
sinker. Let's get it out of the pack. It's a walleye, and it is like solar flare. Is that the color? Is that the... He just put that through his finger.
Yep, mostly.
Ooh, perfect. Welcome to the office.
Again, 3.5 ounces, but now we have a soft tail.
But look at
soft
these
fins.
bad boys.
Dude,
Look at these bad boys.
Fire Tiger. They come in other colors, but I mean,
No, it's solar flare.
One color. Look at this.
Check it out.
This thing is just absolutely epic. So as you can probably assume, this is a muskie and pike hunter, and we like toothy critters. So I was like, I know this isn't like our normal jam, but I think we need to get this.
We're voracious.
And we need to go try and figure it out or something.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Ah, yeah. Dude, that's a glorious bait. We also got apparel. Hat. Here you go.
Dopest hat, though.
Sweater. All right, so moving on. These things caught a lot of fish this year.
Lifesavers.
If you guys are not fishing tailspins, you need to get into tailspins. So here's 3 different colors of our favorite tailspin right now because it is phenomenal. These weigh 3/4 of an ounce.
They're heavy.
They're
yeah,
hefty.
I do wish they had a smaller one, but most tailspins are 1/2 ounce. That's like a standard size. There are some that come in 1/4. 1/2 ounce is standard. And what I will tell you, just as a tip, if you're looking to buy, get one with a gold blade and one with a silver blade. The body, I think, matters, but I think the blade matters more.
Yeah, that's what's kicking off that flash in the back there. So this is the Sexy Shad, and I thought that this color really popped. Look at that. It's pretty rad. So hefty bait, rig it up to a bait caster, even though it's small, it's heavy. So I love setting it up on a high-speed bait caster, bombing it out as far as you possibly can, and just speed retrieving it in.
Yep.
And that is what worked really well for us. One of the last days of the year. Lots of catches.
Day saver.
Yep. This is one of 27 stacks of the Nature series. We got all sorts of stuff. So we got like the Kickin' Craws. If you guys were on one of my last lives, we actually gave away 2 packs of these. It was the one where Paul disappeared. If you guys wanted an entertaining live, we did a live with our boy Jig Squad. Follow him on Instagram. And Paul was on for 30 minutes. His power had gone out that day. He got his power back on 5 minutes before we went live. He goes live. 30 minutes in, he just disappears. And I'm like, what happened? So I kept talking and running the show. I checked my phone real quick while Jig Squad was talking. And then I saw that Paul had texted me, I think I'm going to puke. And then he disappeared 5 seconds later.
And didn't reappear for 24 hours. The next day, I slept for 12 hours the next day. Oh my gosh.
So anyways, what you missed was I gave away some Kickin' Craws and a Hydroglide.
Ew.
All right, so.
Dude, this color, this was probably for me, this might have been the biggest revelation of the whole series. Look at this color. This is not going to do it justice. It's called Hot Craw.
Hot Craw.
There's a dark, like magma type red on the bottom, but then there's this like green pumpkin, copper, black, and gold flake on top.
So perfect.
What? Dude, this color is sick. Now, this is obviously a unique portion, right? So they've got this this ring on here for like a skirt.
Yep.
And then the craw is legit. I mean, it's got the the big wavy ones. It's got the long dangly, like what do you call these? Like nose strips, antennas, antennaes, and then some of the stuff right down here. So some of my favorite, the Yamamoto has like a similar deal down here. So really cool craw. 4 1/4 on the big one, standard size.
And then this would be the small one, 3.5 inches. This is the June bug. I mean, look at that purple.
Dude,
look at that
pops.
purple. Love the skirt, by the way. I mean, it's just perfect if you're doing like even a Carolina rig, Texas rig.
Anything.
A jig that doesn't have a skirt on it, you're getting added action in there, which is really cool. Kicking claws down here. You can see they're shaped in a really good way for like speed movement. You guys ever fish a speed craw? I mean, you probably have. It's doing that for you. And then you get the extra appendages up on the side as well.
The packaging
Really
is
cool.
gigantic though. That's a drawback.
Yeah,
Looks like an
and
action figure pack.
You have to tear the top off.
Yeah, looks
so
like
you
an
can't
action.
hang them.
Looks like an action figure pack. Oh my god.
Go.
All right, so what we did is we grabbed a lot of the different sizes of profiles. We grabbed the big versions and the small versions, but then we're messing around with some of the colors that we weren't able to see as we only got the like test prototype version of these, not the final. So this is the first time we're getting the final in our hands. Here is the black and blue. The blue is very much a royal blue, and the black is just straight up black. So these are your two colors. They do a lot of blue flake. So if you're like an aficionado of black and blue, this is maybe blue and black even.
I love the fluorescence on that. And then
It
of
is
course,
bright.
This is the dragonfly, mayfly. What do they even call it on these?
Why do they call it the flutter
It's
nymph?
a flutter nymph.
Because
Look
it's
at
called
little
the
kickers.
flutter nymph because look at the little feet on his little wings. My gosh, what? Insane.
It's rad. So going back to the kick and craw for a second to show you this color, this is the GP Blue, green pumpkin on the back. We've got kind of a black upper with a lot of blue flake throughout. This is a juicy color, one that stood out to me right off the bat. I'm really digging it.
We never got to see it
No,
last season.
we didn't
so
get
this
it
is our
last
first
season.
time getting a hold of it. It looks as good as advertised. It's pretty sick. Look at all the freaking salt packed into that. My God, every little rib of this frog is jammed. They're gonna preserve this thing like King Tut. Like this thing is gonna last the ages.
Perfectly. So if you guys weren't here last year when this happened, we got like one of each of these, right? In the different sizes, in the basic colors. It was a much harder, more rigid plastic at the time, and there was 0 salt in it. So this is gonna fish totally differently. Here's the frog. This is the smaller size frog. You gotta break your legs apart. So you get like these crazy kicky feet off the back, little ball appendages on the end there. Pretty neat. And this is the PB&J color, giving you a look at that. So kind of tan upper as you would expect. And then that like hyper purple bottom with those purple legs. So these are gonna be great actually on drop shot and Ned rigs, as you would expect.
I think
a
the Ned
frog.
rig though, it kind of makes sense. Like once it gets down there, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So there's that froggy.
You know what? I gotta admit, they got a lot out of the colors.
They did. These
Like,
colors bang.
The colors pop a lot more than they do with other plastics.
Big fan of the color. Packaging graphics look great. Packaging
Looks good in store.
Size, kind of a pain in the butt, but we have a solution for it, so we're gonna be fine. And we're gonna fish these this year. You guys are not ready for this
No, you're
one.
not. I'm ready. Been ready. Stay ready.
It's a Fish Lab pack. What kind of pack, you may be asking? A hip/lumbar pack?
Yeah, it might even be a chest pack though, or a backpack.
Check this out. So you got like the little Velcro. You can store hooks on these, kind of fly fishing style if you want to, or patches or whatever is Velcro to it.
Yeah.
You've got a little tool pouch right there for your pliers. On this side, you have I don't know what size water bottle is ever going to fit in here, but a pouch for something, and then more hook stuff there. You got heavy duty buckles, so we can buckle this baby together.
Heavy.
Now check this out. You're like, seems like a large hip pack there. I don't know. Well, that's because it fits a whole 3600 sized box that it comes with. So I want you guys to just imagine. You want to go ultralight throwdown.
No, but there's also in front of that you get a whole pouch in front of that.
Have all the
with
storage.
like a little plastic deal here. Oh my God, it's so sick. And then you get the just like for whatever in the front.
So you can like stash your plastics,
All your
stash
lefties,
all your lures,
all your leftovers and your trash goes in the front.
It's absurd. So it's the one pack to rule them all.
So I love this. It is definitely, it's big. It's not small, which I appreciate. It does have a D-ring on the side too for you to attach your accessories.
Check it out.
Hold on, like one of these.
So let's say I'm out here fishing. And I'm just like, you know what? Here's what I need.
On the
I throw my zinger.
Other side.
It's
they have
on
one on
both
both
sides.
sides. Oh, yeah.
So I can like cut my line there, and then What do I need?
What do you need? You
What
got
don't
it.
I need?
Hold on. Hold on, though. So the nice thing, what I really liked about this when we saw it, other than I like the size, the biggest thing for me was having a waterproof pack can be really great. It also can kind of handicap you because it's really hard to get in and out of stuff, and you kind of have to be both gentle and forceful when you're opening it up, because when you rip that zipper, it's like breaking a waterproof seal. So it's really tight, but it's also just beating up that like expensive material. I grew up fishing with stuff like that. So the nice thing about this is you can get just like a waterproof either case or a soft bag and shove it in there for your camera gear, and then all your camera gear is protected like sort of off to the side, but you still, because it's big, you have a lot of room for all your fishing gear still. That's a big win for somebody like me, or if you just like to overpack, there you go. You can fit lunch in there. You can fit lunch in there, which is kind of a big deal. Now, hold on though, if you're not 6'3", unbuckle that son of a gun. I'll just do it.
Will this fit? Oh, this will fit a standard water bottle, just not a Yeti.
Now, if you're not like super tall and you're worried about this getting wet, or you just don't relish the idea of your pack getting wet, you can just do one of these. I do this all the time with my fanny pack.
Stretch.
But like, yeah, if you need to get out of the way, I mean, you can just wear this as essentially a backpack. That is, or a sling pack. Like that is, I do this all the time. It's not gonna be the most comfortable. It's not perfect, but I have no problems. This is totally fine.
But when you're shallow wading, you can just rock it down here.
Or if you're bank fishing,
you can just throw it on the backside
maybe
too.
you're an ultralight bank fisherman.
Hang on, bucko.
I love it. This is great. And then when you're done, see you later, nerds.
And for my people with lower back pain, it does some
You are
good
getting
stuff.
supported. Okay, so what Jeff's talking about here is not only is this ultra wide, but look at the frickin', this is not soft. This is supportive.
It is.
I might just wear this as my deadlifting belt.
It's awesome. You guys can catch us outside rocking these bad boys.
This thing's freaking sweet.
Here's some reels. Okay, we'll show the ice rod and then we'll get to
So we'll get this bad boy out of the way. This is the Ice X. If you're not an ice fishing nerd, you probably don't know or care, but I am, so I do. I think these are in the $90 range. One of my favorite types of handle. Super on the stiff side for sure, but really open, so I can place that reel wherever I want. This does have like some grip to it though. It's not smooth. It's really grippy. Huge fan of this. You get the hook holder. I know it seems so like such a small thing, but it's like kind of a nice convenience.
You don't get that all the time.
You really don't, but you do get really nice line guides. And then you get the bright orange tip for some bite detection. 32 medium heavy. So that fits a gap in my arsenal and is a huge upgrade. This is probably, would you say this is the nicest ice rod that you have? I think it's the nicest one I've used.
It is.
Personal opinion, very nice rod. For 90 bucks, this is really, really nice, even for 90 bucks, which is kind of expensive for an ice rod. So the Ice X, the ICX, sick rod. So thanks, guys.
So we've got 3 rods. Ooh. 2 of them are exactly the same though.
Talk to me.
What?
Just show them the combo.
Oh yeah,
so
you're
frosty.
Stoked. You're stoked.
It's so
on this
frosty.
combo.
Oh god.
So I already took one of the reels out and I combined it.
So frosty.
So what we have here is the Psycho Stick spinning, which I didn't have this year. You got one this year, but you weren't totally happy. You wanted a heavier or a higher.
I wanted a heavier action.
Heavier action.
I got the medium light for the 1/8 ounce, and I'll be honest, it's nice for. It's almost like a light. I think it's a little bit whippy for what I wanted. I wanted something a little sturdier, a little
they're like
faster action.
Underpowered.
Yeah,
almost.
not power. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They just have a whippier action.
They have the backbone, but they're like it's an action
it's
below
lower.
what you think.
But like,
it is.
okay, so what Jeff's
that's how
saying,
I feel about it.
For me, it's because they just don't have a fast enough action. So like, this is the last third of the rod right here. There's only 5 guides after this. This is right where it starts to get like extra fast. Yeah. I like to see that maybe 6 inches higher on the rod. This whole section, everything down here, exactly what I wanted. It's just a little whippy. It feels whippy.
So we went a size up. Yes. We went to the medium. So this is the Psycho Stick 7.2 medium, which you guys can see right there. And I went ahead and I paired it up with the old ITX. I gotta tell you guys, this may be one of the sexiest combos I've ever seen in my life. And I cannot wait to go fish with this thing.
Now this runs a 1/8 ounce to a 5/8 ounce. So it's still, again, it's speaking to that whippiness on the cast. It can still handle a really light weight. So this for a medium is, I'm fishing it like a medium light. That's how I'm handling it.
You can see where the bend is right
Much
there.
better than I thought on the medium light for the Psycho Stick.
Definitely not an extra fast and sort of sub-level fast. Like,
if you are,
it's pretty low. Like,
But
if
for
you're
medium,
comparing it to other fasts.
If you're medium, I'm okay. Now, if you wanted...
It's got the ability.
Yeah, if
to
you
handle
wanted
everything.
something that was a little bit of a faster action coming out of the Okuma lineup, the tournament concept is really what I think you should be looking for. So for medium light, my recommendation is if you want to show them the tournament concept and which model you've got there.
So this is a medium light.
That's what I'm talking about. So this is a much faster action, not nearly as whippy.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that I discovered that I was most surprised. Which one is that though? Do you mind telling me which one? So it's the drop shot / finesse. That's the one you're going to want to, in my opinion, it's a less expensive rod, so you're saving some money. And I think it's going to do you more of like a standard fast / extra fast. I really like that rod, and I think it's a super high value at the, 165 something range.
And then here's the Saros, which is more of a true fast action, as you can see. So this is the Saros medium light.
But much cheaper components.
Much cheaper.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as durable. It doesn't feel as durable. However, it is one of my most used rods.
Yeah, there you go. So I also got the medium in the Psycho Stick, which I'm really excited to try this year. And then I went with the Guide Select. This is their
copier. We got a copier.
This is their swim bait rod, absolutely, and no shame in it whatsoever. Look at the freaking guides on this bad boy, built to last. And then here is your grip. This is, I mean, I've used Jeff's. This is such a comfortable setup. Huge fan. So this will be my go-to swim bait rod. My only regret is that I don't have two. I'm just saying. So nice.
True.
And I'll be pairing that with
a Komodo.
A Komodo, which you'll see in a second.
All right, let's get into reels.
So we made a video a little while ago, and we took some heat for it, and that was, at least I did.
Did we take heat?
I think so, on the Samar, saying that it was comparable to some more expensive reels. Yeah.
So to clear the air here, the internet is a place for opinions, and it's like our opinion, man.
It is like that.
We can have our opinion that we want. Having fished both, in the reel in question is the Abu Garcia Zada.
Super nice.
And super expensive.
Almost $200.
One of the priciest spinning reels I've ever looked at.
180, I think, is typical.
We don't look at expensive spinning reels like at all. So our opinion lies, in the lower economical end typically. Now that said, the comparability is you fish both for a long, long time, yeah?
A year and a half, at least season and a half, 2 seasons, I think, full.
So if he's fished both, and he knows the price of the other one, that price is knocking it down in the rankings.
Even at 140, which is where you can go get it if you look on Amazon, you can get them from 140. You just have to wait for the shipping. You're not going to get it tomorrow, which is what I did. I'm a super value conscious person, so like I went and bought that on my own, and I spent $140. Now you can go get it for $180 pretty much anywhere. That's fine. That's the Abu Garcia Zada spinning reel. Very nice. It is really nice. Aluminum frame. It is premium. However, you're getting like compared to the Samar, which and people will say that I'm a Okuma homer. It's not true. Like if I had fished this, I'm picking this series of reels over almost every other spinning reel because the standard Samar without the bait feeder system, which is sick, but without the bait feeder system, it's like $50, $50-some dollars. I can get 2 or 3 of these
for the price of
one reel that is only maybe, by the time you fish it, maybe 10 or 15% better in hand and on the water. So in my opinion, I'd rather have 3 of these than 1 of those. That's just my opinion, man. But like that's just the deal, right? It's the value. It's the value. If you were like, hey, you can only have one, I would probably take the 3 times more expensive. If in reality, in real life, which is where I live, I have to pick 3 of these or 1 of those. I'm going for 3 of these because I've never had one of these fail. They are super heavy duty. They make an HD version that's only $80.
It's behind me.
So you can get like 2 or 3 of those for the same price, or 2 of those, not 3. You get 2 of those for the same price. But really, this reel has served me very well in all sizes and all scenarios. Ice fishing to ultralight, all the way up to giant smallmouth. And I have loved it. I got 2. So I got the 10, which is the ultralight size, and I got the 20, which is
ice fishing.
Yeah, / ice fishing. Well, the 20 as well. So both of these I can use for ice fishing. I tend to use this, the C20, so the Samar C20. We're gonna unbox them in a second. The Samar C20 is like my standard medium light setup. slash medium setup for spinning, and then the C10 is my ultralight. This is the one. The C10 is the one that like turned me into a believer. I've caught huge smallmouth, granted in open water, but a ton of big smallmouth in the river. Never had a problem. Bulletproof, and again, very inexpensive. Again, in my opinion.
When your boys come out with a brand new ultralight fishing rod, which we'll be getting the prototype for in a few weeks. I talked to Rick already. This will be the reel that gets paired with it for me. This is the C10, so that's the smallest size in that same R. Just, you know, overall, like decent details and all that, but what's important is functionality. It feels very smooth. It's got a heavy-duty bail. That matters. It's got a heavier-duty tension knob than some $130 fancy brands we've reviewed on the channel. But overall, just solid reel. It's going to make me happy.
All right, so as we were speaking, Jeff showed you the 10. Here is the 20. So there they are side by side. Definitely not twice as big, but bigger. Again, this is my, like, I think this is a perfect medium light. You can get away on a medium. This is how I like to cast with a medium, a little bit further. But there you go. Simple. They do have a lot of different versions that we did not opt for. So they have the, what's the green? The tactical green.
Tactical green, bait feeder version.
The tactical green is really nice. I have one. It's got, I think I have two. They're pretty sick.
It's $15 more for the color.
Yeah, $15, and it's a matte green. So versus your black and red. But to Jeff's point, the big thing with these for me is the value comes in how it works, how it fishes, not necessarily on the looks. I mean, I think it looks fine, but I'm not paying extra for when I don't need to. I love the way this reel works, and that's all I really care about. I will say, if you've ever or wanted to or thought about doing live bait fishing, or if you're a big ice fisherman, you should consider the bait feeder system. It's pretty dope. It's got a lever right here and then a separate drag system, so you can just engage it whenever you need to. So basically you can just like let it free spool at a desired tension of your choice while you're live bait feeding and dead sticking, and then when that fish takes or you see the line start to spool, bam, you just flip this little switch right by your heel and you are fishing. It's freaking cool, but that puts you in the $80 range and it's a little bit heavier. But still, these are the basic models. These are what I use the most, and this is just my absolute go-to.
Then we have the HD version, right? So here's the 20, so basically a 1000 size reel. Here's the HD. You notice a few differences, starting with the color right off the bat. We got more of a matte finish on the HD versus that like kind of glossy, flashy black on the 20. You've also got a redesigned handle on the HD, which is a bit more comfortable, and then you've got that flat knob there as well versus a circular knob. So a couple subtle differences there. Other than that, all upgraded components. This one, the HD, is basically bomb-proof. You've got that heavy-duty wire as well, which is a slightly different shape, which I can't even like show. There we go. There we go. A slightly different shape to it as well. And top tension knobs, also a different material.
So you're getting more of the metal components. You're getting more of the heavier dutier components, again metal, but on the interior you're getting heavier duty gearing, pretty freaking nice reel. And again, for the price, the HD at $80 is still a really great value.
It feels absolutely rock solid out of the box. So it is an upgrade for sure, cost-wise too, but I wanted to have one because Paul had one last year. They're solid.
I have the 2500, I believe.
So he's got a beastie boy.
It's a freaking giant. This is, what, the crown jewel? Can we call it the crown jewel?
We can.
Insane. So here's another value, in my opinion, value reel. 120 bucks for the ITX. I won't belabor the point. Jeff did show you this one. And this is the 1000 size, so this is my favorite size. More of a do-it-all. I wouldn't ultralight with it, but everything above that, up until your sort of heavier duty spinnerbait applications, I'm feeling real good. This is the 1000 size. It's gorgeous. It's unbelievably smooth. The drag is rock solid. Components are really nice. You still get that rounded grip handle, but there's like sort of a wind grippy deal on these. I do like it. Heavy duty bail. You can see there, you're not gonna have a problem with that little wire. And you know, just rock solid reel. I love it. This is probably, I can't say it's like the best I've ever used, but god dang, it's hard to walk away.
If it's not, it's close.
For 120 bucks, hard to walk away from.
It's a top 3 all-time spinning reel.
Hard to walk away from.
Let's go to bait casters, shall we? Now that we're off our soapbox.
I live here.
On this soapbox, it doesn't seem very comfortable. So here's the Komodo SS. We've unboxed this in previous years, so we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. If you're looking for something with stainless steel parts that is borderline indestructible, and I do mean indestructible, I have thrown it on the ground multiple times, and I've used about 5 or 6 of these now.
Yeah.
I have the upsized 300 size version for my swim bait rod. Paul's going to go with the 200 size version for his swim bait rod.
Bam.
Which is this one I'm holding right here. All right, so we're wrapping this baby up with just one more reel in 2 different variations, and that is one of our all-time faves. That's the Hakai. So the Hakai has been in my arsenal forever. You have, what gear ratio is yours?
I have all of them. What did I get? I got a 7.6, but I have all of them.
Paul has all of them.
I used all 3 last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
there's an 8-speed, a 7-speed, and a 6-speed. The 6-speed I've been using on my cranking stick all last season. The 8-speed I've been using on my frogging setup as well as on my swim bait setup. Get out of my way. And then the 7 I've just been using as a generic all-purpose.
Yep. So here's my 8 I used all year last year. I stepped on it and broke my star drag. But the 8 is just such a versatile like gear ratio, so I picked up another one.
Yep.
Here's how you can tell it's an 8. They're color coded. So the red for red hot, really fast,
super fast. I believe the gold is
the gold is a 7.
The gold is the 7, so that's your standard. And then I think is it silver is the other one?
Silver or blue, I don't know, but there's a slow one.
Yep.
Probably blue. I don't know.
I think it's silver.
Anyways, so yeah, the gold is our 7 gear, so this would be a great all-around reel. We absolutely love the Hakai. If you guys have not used these before, you got your little brake adjustment down here on the side. You got your tension control knob right there. Very comfortable grips. It's that circular foam, same as the Samar, which is really nice. And I mean, overall, very lightweight components.
Yes.
Now, this will be the last run until they run out of these. Last time we made a mistake in saying they don't make these anymore. They don't, but they're still selling them until they run out of them. And then they're going to do an in-house variation. But this is the last with like the F-Lite spool from Dream Tackle. So you can still get these for the time being.
If you don't know, Dream Tackle is what you would call like a third-party manufacturer of really high-end components. And so they brought in a high-end component manufacturer to create that spool for them. Now the deal with the Hakai, super, super light.
Back wrong.
Not great.
It goes this way.
Oh God. So the deal with the Hakai is not only is that really light, like its total weight, but because it's so light, it also is able to manage line for a huge breadth of weights of whatever you're casting, of your baits. So it casts ultra light stuff just as well as it casts heavier stuff, and it really does. I mean, it manages a huge breadth of weight, and it's awesome. It's the 3 speeds I think are perfect. You just hit the requirements that you need for bass fishing without having like all the different steps in between. So last year this was $180, but due to the world turning to garbage, this is now a $200 reel. But it will be the lightest reel that you have in your arsenal. I can almost guarantee it, and I will say I think it's worth it. I have a couple. I love them. This is my go-to. It's my standard. The weird thing about it is the Komodo is like the exact opposite. It's like this one is like all lightweight, super lightweight components. Like this is like the top thrill dragster of bait casters. And then you get the Komodo, and it's a tank. It's an absolute total tank.
This is 2 to 3 times the weight of this. Just so you
I use these. I use this for swim bait. I use the Komodo for swim bait and flipping. It's a freaking awesome. But yeah, this is like for the heavier duty applications, and it feels so good. Like when you set with this bad boy, you're just like, I'm gonna just bring the planet with me. Pow! $250 for the Komodo, but you are paying for a lot of stainless steel components. The gearing is a lot more heavy duty, and the whole body's just freaking like iron. It is really, really nice, really heavy duty versus the ultra light for $200. You can save yourself $50 and a couple of pounds basically and go to the Hakai. So there you go.
P.S. Absolutely necessary to have an electrical tape or fluoro backer on these and the Hakais. And you will slip if it. All right, you guys, that's all we got from Okuma. That's it. It wasn't that much. It was a tiny amount of tackle and like basically no fishing line or reels or rods.
I have to go home.
We've been filming this for an hour and 24 24 minutes. Anyways, we got a lot of stuff to use. We cannot wait until it's warm weather stuff so we can go out and use this. And if you want to see how these things perform, then you should probably subscribe to the channel, smash that like, ring that notification bell, and then come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern when we go live.
And maybe you'll get yourself a pack in a schmiv-away if you want to try out one of those cross or one of the little toady toads.
Toady toads?
Frogs.
Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Later, nerds.